I've noticed that the pen that comes with these microbooks occasionally jams in a couple different ways, and it usually comes down to the spring inside the shaft. If you unscrew the cap, which is probably loose already, you'll find a spring and a pen refill, and sometimes the little plastic piece that goes on the end. Now, the first thing you should try is taking this spring and just pulling slightly so that it's maybe 20% longer, just a little bit longer. And you can keep adjusting it like you need to. What you'll want to do is grab that little white piece, if it popped out, and drop it back in long side down. That seems to have worked. Then you'll want to slide this refill back in so it's pointing up, and then the spring, and finally the cap. And what that should do is increase the tension on the mechanism, because what can sometimes happen is if it's too loose, the clicking doesn't really accomplish anything. So now you should be getting a loud, firm click when you press the button. And that might have solved some of your issues, but I've also noticed a problem with the button. If you're trying to press the button and it doesn't even get far enough to get to the clicking part, what you might want to do is unscrew the button, if you can get a hold of it. And you'll find that there's this really small spring in the cap. And what you'll want to do is just keep that in there, but make sure it doesn't get woven into the threads. That happened to me one time. It wasn't even able to get down, it was jamming. And hopefully one of those two solutions helped with the pen issue you're facing. You know, the first time I actually saw a microbook in its box with all its packaging was only about 2 weeks before everyone else got theirs from the Kickstarter. And the very first box I opened, I was kind of impressed with the packaging. I had never done this before. And I took out the notebook that was vacuum sealed. Everything looked really professional. And then I grabbed the pen, and it was the very first pen that had laser engravings, final product. And I tried to click it and it jammed on me. And my heart sank because I was thinking, oh my gosh, is every pen gonna jam? Did I just get scammed? Did they just send me defective products? And so that's when I took it apart and messed with the spring and put it back together, and it clicked again. And I was slightly less freaked out. And it's haunting me not just because of the reviews, but also because I want to do better for you guys. And that's why I'm setting up a Kickstarter in a few weeks to improve the design of these pens. It's pretty tricky finding a small pen, 10 centimeters long, that can fit on the spine of one of these tiny microbooks. And so I've asked a couple manufacturers to make me some custom pens, and they'll be arriving probably next week or two. I'm really excited to show you guys what we came up with, so follow along on this channel to see updates to the microbook.